this computer for right now. Okay, so this is Mr. Utt's definition of safety. I don't know, is that coming in? Is that coming in backwards for you guys?
No.
Okay, it's backwards for me. Okay.
All the body parts are in relation to everything else.
Is it up there? Yeah, okay. I don't know if you can read that, but I'm gonna read it to you. Safety. Knowing where you are and all your body parts are in relation to everything else in the world, right? So it's all about awareness. Safety is about awareness. Right? You being aware of where you are, right? You, your hands, your elbows, your knees, every part of you, and by extension, what you're holding in relation to everything else around you. And that includes everything. So in other words, when you're pushing stuff to the table saw, that blade's cracked up. You want to know where every part of you is in relationship to that especially, but really any part of it, the switch, right? You don't want to bang yourself, but you sure as hell don't want to touch that blade, okay? Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Sure as hell makes sense to me. Yeah, safety, man. Safety first. So,
Okay.
with safety in mind, we are going to do our first weekly tailgate safety meeting. Now, raise your hand if you work in construction right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, got 5, about 6 of you are working in construction right now. Raise your hand also if your job or that your employer has tailgate safety meetings on a regular basis. Okay, none of you, right? Oh, okay. So Arthur, who do you work for?
Byron Beck.
Huh, that would be why.
Yeah.
Because I trained him.
Yeah.
Tell him that. He'll get a kick out of it.
I will.
So, well, that's great because we're required as licensed contractors to have safety meetings and tailgate safety meetings once every 10 working days. So we're going to have one right now. So I want you guys to get used to having safety meetings for reals and enjoy the topics, learn from them if you can. And then the other thing is for every safety meeting topic, every safety meeting we have on your midterm exam, for all the safety meetings leading up to, except for that day of the midterm, there's going to be one question for each one of these safety topic things that we do, these sheets that I have up. And then for the final exam, there'll be one question for the ones that we have done from the midterm to the end. So I'm going to take and go to screen sharing. Let's see. I got to get into my. Okay. I'll get into screen sharing. If I just go. Okay, I want to show you. Are you guys seeing that? Are we sharing the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing the read syllabus? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So here's our safety meeting. Tailgate safety meeting. We'll talk about the class survey in a minute. Click on that, baby. You can't believe. Some of you may be able to believe this, but what it took for me to put together this Canvas shell is nothing short of monumental. This is like teaching an old dog new tricks. Okay, here we go. Safety first aid. So does everybody see that on your screen? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and read the introduction, and then I'll just pick somebody to read the next paragraph. Okay, so First aid basics, introduction. At work, injuries and illnesses kill more than 2 million people in the world each day. Kill more than 2 million people in the world each year. Yeah, was anybody awake for that? Because it's not each day. Each year. That's one death every 15 seconds or 6,000 people a day. Safe practices can prevent many injuries, illnesses, and deaths. However, once injury or sudden illness has occurred, providing effective first aid can make the difference between life and death, rapid versus prolonged recovery, and temporary versus permanent disability. James, would you mind reading definition, please?
Yes. First aid emergency aid, treatment given to someone injured, suddenly ill, etc. Before regular medical services or can be arrive or can be reached. Procedures.
Who else?
Okay.
Go ahead and start reading procedures, James.
Never attempt first aid skills that exceed your training. Access the scene. If you're not safe or at any time become unsafe, get out. Observe. Observe universal precautions by using personal protective equipment. Universal precautions means to wear gloves, goggles. Wear goggles, gloves, or a face mask to protect from a patient's bodily fluids. If victim is awake and talking, identify yourself and ask if it is okay to help. If the victim appears weak, seriously ill or injured, or is unresponsive, call 911.
Okay, Michael, would you read cardiopulmonary resuscitation, please? Michael Silva, thanks.
If you come across an unconscious person, the proper steps for CPR: look, listen, and feel for breathing and pulse for at least 5 seconds. If unresponsive and not breathing, perform CPR after calling 911. If victim is breathing normally, continue. If victim is breathing normally, continue assessment. Circulation: if there's no pulse, you should immediately do 30 compressions at the rate of 100 beats per minute, or the tune of Staying Alive by Bee Gees. The compression should be between 1/3 and half depth of the chest. Airway: open airway, tilt the head back, lift chin to make sure there are no obstructions in the airway, such as food items. Breathing: once the airway is cleared, administer 2 breaths, either mouth to mouth or with a CPR mask. Continue alternating compressions and breathing at the ratio of 30 compressions to 2 breaths.
Okay, Eric, you want to read additionally?
Look for and control severe bleeding with direct pressure. Look for normal tissue color and use your exposed wrist to feel for body temperature. Help maintain normal body temperature. If it is available and you're properly trained, give emergency oxygen. Suspected spinal injury. Place your hands on both sides of the victim's head to stabilize it. Suspected limb injury. Place your hands above and below the injury to stabilize it. Treatment of severe bleeding. You can use the mnemonic pig to remember how to deal with a severe bleed. Position: ask the casualty to sit on the floor if it's possible. Expose and examine. Quickly find and examine the wounds for any embedded objects. Elevation: if the injury is to a limb, elevate above the level of the heart. Pressure: ask the casualty to apply firm direct pressure over the wound. If the casualty is unable to do this, you will have to do it for them. Conclusion.
Ron, read the conclusion. Por favor.
Conclusion. All work sites should have one person with first aid or medical training readily available. Larger workplaces may need more than one. An employee should know who that person is, know where the first aid kit is located, and know where the emergency numbers are listed, and an up-to-date first aid manual should be stored with or near the first aid kit. Remember to place any items used from the first aid kit.
Okay, very good, very good. So Let's see. Escape. Share. Okay. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to go. I'm going to call your name. I want you to unmute yourself, and then I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself. Tell us where you are. Tell us what you do for a living if you're working, and what it's been like for you. A little bit what it's been like for you with this COVID-19 thing, and anything else you want to share with us. We want to get to know each other a little bit here right now. Starting with you up in my left-hand corner, Jorge.
Yeah, I'm George. What should I say? Just like where I work and stuff? Hello?
Say it again, George.
Yeah.
That's a great picture of your hair there, George.
Oh, what do I say?
Well, you can tell us your whole name. You can tell us what I just asked you to tell us, which is what you do for a living if you work, where you're living, and how COVID-19 has affected you. Just give us some anecdotal
Okay, yeah, I got you.
about your life. We want to know you, George.
Yeah, I got you. Well, right now I'm working at landscaping, but like it's not like full time because I'm at school. I only work like the days where I don't have school. And then what else? What else? Well, I'm in Santa Barbara. And what else? Well, I mean, COVID is affecting us because like the major that we're in is like hands-on. So it's like all of us, it's affecting all of us, like pretty sure. But yeah, that's about it.
George, just see your whole face, George. There you go. There's George. I knew you were more than just a forehead. So, George, did you say you're working at SBCC?
What was that?
Did you say you were working at SBCC?
No, I'm working at landscaping.
Oh, for a landscaper in town?
Yeah, yeah.
Who?
Oh, it's my uncle. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You guys got plenty of work?
Kinda. It's on and off.
Yeah. So is your uncle a good landscaper?
Yeah, he's been doing landscaping for like over like 20 years, so he's already got experience.
Is he?
And he already has his own job. He's not like with a company or anything.
Right. So it's his company, right?
Yeah, it's only like 3-4 guys.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we got to talk later because I got a landscape job coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if I forget, and I might, remind me, you guys, to get, guys and gal, remind me to get into my pipeline because somebody emailed me that's looking for people to work. So I got a contact that's looking for people, and there was something else in there I want to look at, but I want to put that out to you guys in a minute. In the meantime, I want to hear from John. John, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
My name is John Sesser. I live in Nolita. I've worked on and off in construction for the past 10 years. And COVID has pretty much killed our family business working in construction, unfortunately.
And John, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Try to talk a little louder. I'm having trouble hearing you, but who are you working for?
I work for a family construction company. It's Sesser Construction. We operate here in town in LA. The pandemic has affected a lot of our bigger jobs, and so it's kind of cut down. So going back to school and
yeah, okay. So COVID you've seen a big slowdown for your work due to COVID. People not doing jobs they thought they'd gonna do, and just not that much work.
Bigger jobs.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot more smaller jobs, but there's not quite the money that there was before.
So are you married?
No, I'm not.
So you don't have kids either? All right, so you're a single working guy. Good. Right on, John. So now we know a little bit about John. How about Eric? Eric, tell us about yourself, Eric.
My name is Eric. I live in the Napa County, in San Helena. I work in the restaurant business. Yeah, COVID like affect because I couldn't go like this semester like to SBCC how I planned it. So now I have to do online school, and that's kind of like new for me. So yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. It's affected the restaurant business probably as much or more than any other business. It's
Yeah.
just, it's pretty crazy. I feel really bad for restaurant people because, for us that don't work in the restaurant industry and have had to stay home, it's kind of cool because I like my own food, but we do like to go out to eat, but it's just, it's kept people from going out, which is sucks. So we try to go out and get to go food and eat in patios every chance we get just to, to keep these, I hate to see some of the restaurants around here go under. It's really a drag. So got my fingers crossed for restaurant workers, but I'm glad you're here because carpentry, the trades, the building trades, it's something that I've been doing for over 50 years. I retired and sold my business 5 years ago, but I'm still in it. I've been teaching it for 12 years, and it's a great life. It's a great life on so many levels. I can't even tell you, but I will try to tell you over the course of the next 16 weeks. So, Michael, tell us about yourself. Michael Silva.
Michael Silva. I'm from Sacramento and been up in Sac since March. And during summer, I work for my dad to do concrete. So just like set forms, finish concrete. And COVID affected, I had to move back home for COVID and with everything, but like me and my family made the best of it. So it's been rough, but it has been terrible. So, but yeah.
So COVID slowed you down too?
No, not if anything, COVID picked up business for us. It
So
was
you
crazy.
guys have been busy as all get out. Your dad's business been busy?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It almost seems, it's just because I think everyone's home, so everyone's starting to want to get stuff done at their houses. And
So when you're
Yeah.
working on job sites, are you guys masked up when you work? No, not at all.
no, yeah, no. But
Do you know anybody that's gotten the virus?
actually, one of my coworkers did, and so he got it, and luckily no one else got it that was on his crew. But he got it, and then he was out for 2 weeks, came back, tested negative, and he was all good.
How about his symptoms? Did you ask about his symptoms? Did he have any bad symptoms?
He didn't show anything, but his girlfriend got it, and so he went and got tested, and then he came up positive. And so, yeah, but he didn't have any symptoms or feel like bad or anything.
So a positive test for COVID, asymptomatic, no symptoms, no fatigue, coughing, sneezing, none of that stuff. Wow, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he's about my age too, so he's a young guy.
Young
Yeah.
and probably strong and healthy. Alec, what about
Yeah.
you? What's your story?
My name's Alec. I'm originally from the East Coast, from Central Connecticut. I've been in Santa Barbara for about 5 years now, actually almost 6. I was working at a music venue in town, and that shut down in March, and I don't think live music is coming back for a really long time. So I was already thinking about transitioning out of nightlife and trying to move into the trades anyways. I took 110 last fall with James. So I'm just continuing on in the program. I'm taking the framing class with Patrick too. So yeah.
Good. Great. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're interested in the trade. And do you all know, I'll just assume that you don't, so I'm going to tell you that to get a contractor's license in the state of California, if you're interested in construction trades, you working by the hour is great, and you can do that your whole life. And if you want to do more than that, and you're moved to become a contractor, you have to have 4 years of documented experience in 10 as a journeyman and above. An AA degree in the construction tech gives you 1.5 years towards that 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So you only have to certify another 2.5 years once you get an AA degree to be eligible to apply for your contractor's license, take the test and stuff like that. Donna, what are you eating? That looks really good. Is it pretzels?
Yeah, it's this is what I'm eating.
Damn, I wish we could share that. I wish you were here. We could all share that.
I would share my snacks.
Okay, sorry. Alec, so you're not married, I take it?
No, I'm not.
No kids?
No kids.
Did you say you were working?
No, I'm not working right now, actually. Just taking classes and yeah.
All right, good. Because I'm going to have opportunities for the people that don't work. Somehow I'll get you in some kind of a database where I know you're not working, because stuff comes up all the time where I need help or friends of mine need help. And if you guys are available, guys and gals are available that need the work, I'm happy to put you to work. So
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
good, for sure. Noel, tell us about yourself, please.
My name is Noel. I was born here in Santa Barbara. I work in masonry right now. I usually do like concrete pouring, and I also print T-shirts. So like.
Are you working for a local contractor?
Yeah,
Who?
for Alex Tile.
Adams?
Alex Tile.
Alex, yeah.
Alex Tile.
Yeah.
Right now we just finished up the job site, and right now we're just like looking for work. So we're pretty much going to.
Are you doing any tile setting, or are you doing just labor?
Well, we just finished like doing big old slabs, like 24 by 36, like slabs of limestone.
Wow.
And
big
like
slab.
big old steps, I mean. And the COVID affected us. Well, I feel like it picked up more. Like like they said, a lot of people are being home more, and so.
So you noticed an uptick in work after the initial people stayed.
Yeah, it stopped for a while, but then it just started up again. It's getting back up.
I've witnessed the same thing. Once it opened up a little bit, people wanted to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And some people still have money. Amazingly, some people still have money. Some people don't have money.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you, Noel.
Mhm.
Brandon, what about you? What's your deal?
Albert Paz, and I live in Santa Barbara. I'm a full-time student. And how COVID is affecting is that I can't go out without a mask. It's hard to breathe with the mask.
Brandon, you got to speak up. I can barely hear you.
How COVID is affecting is that I can't go out.
So Brandon, did you say you were working?
I'm full-time student.
Full-time student. God, you lucky dog. So did you graduate high school in Santa Barbara?
No, in Lompoc.
Are you on the Promise? Did you take the Promise?
No.
No? Is anybody here on the Promise program?
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
George, Brandon, Victor. Okay. What a cool deal, man, isn't it?
Right?
Yeah,
It's free.
So in that vein, I haven't been able to get to the bookstore. I can't get through to them. They're like, you can't go in there, and they don't answer their bleeding phone. So I'm trying to get these books up in the bookstores because you guys get them for free, right?
Well, I mean, I get them all the time. The emails.
Say it again, please.
The emails that you're talking about, the books, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the books for the class. The two
Yeah,
books.
I get the emails all the time, but probably because I'm the Promise student, but.
Yeah, because you guys should be they should be paying for your book. So I'll find out that the bookstores got them. They should have them. I don't know if they have the workbook. The workbook's only $26 on Amazon, but we need the books. 11th edition, we're going to be doing some work out of the books. 11th edition, Modern Carpentry. And if you have the 12th edition, don't buy the 12th edition. But if you have it, like John, we'll make it work, because it's basically the same book with a few things mixed up and.
Is this one good?
Chapter, yeah. So you've got the 12th edition.
Yeah, I've got the 12th too.
Alex got the 12th too? Okay.
Same here. I got the 12.
And we can make that work. We can make that work. When I assign stuff out of the book, I'll give you a corresponding chapter for the 12th if it's different than the 11th. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Brandon. Jose, what's going on with you? Jose Cornejo. Besides helping me out the other day. Good job,
Hello.
Jose.
Thank you. Yeah, my name's Jose Cornejo. I live in Santa Barbara. Right now, I'm not working. I'm just a full-time student, and yeah, looking for jobs, maybe part-time. That'll be cool.
What have you actively been looking? Have you applied anywhere?
Not yet, but I'm thinking about it since you started telling me about that.
And where are you thinking about applying for jobs?
Well, I haven't really thought about it. It's just you said that you could probably help, so that'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I've got some leads. I've got people ask me all the time for people, and then I'm going to stop for just a second and ask, what would you all think is if you're entry level, right? Entry level in carpentry, in the building trades, and what do you think you could bring to a table to say you're coming to a contractor? Let's just say, for instance, the guy's a cabinet maker, finish guy, and you want to go to work for him. You want to go to work on entry level, which means you have virtually no skills. What's the best thing you think you can bring to the table?
A willingness to work.
Impress somebody with?
I definitely say like willingness to work, you know?
Say it again.
Like willingness to learn.
Okay, that's a good one. What else?
Just being motivated.
Motivated, bringing motivation, good motivation. What else?
Ambition to learn.
Say it again.
Ambition to learn.
Ambition to learn. Okay, I like that.
Wait, we're talking about like physical or like just like.
Well, I'm talking about what do you think you can bring to the table that would be valuable to an employer? And I'll tell you the answer. And all those answers work. The answer I'm looking for is attitude. All of us employers, and before I sold my company, I was an employer for 50 years. And what I looked for in entry-level people is a good attitude. And a good attitude means polite, respectful, show up on time. It's pretty much that simple. You know, like I'd basically hire a body that drew breath if they had a good attitude and could show up on time and take some kind of direction and were polite and respectful and decently dressed. And the other thing that I pretty much judge books, sometimes not by their cover, but on a few pages in, which means if you come to apply to me for a job at entry level or really on any level, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, may I see what you're driving? And I want to see the condition of your car or truck and your tools. And that's going to tell me a lot. So just be aware of that, because that's what guys like me, employers and potential employers, are looking for. They're looking for people with a good attitude, you know, that are polite and respectful and that can show up on time. Simple stuff. Because really, on entry-level stuff, I would rather you came to me knowing nothing, because then I can teach you the way we want it done, rather than unteach you some stuff that, because you know, everybody wants it done their way. And they deserve to get it done their way. And everybody's way is the right way, right? Everybody's right. Everybody operates from this place of being right. Nobody operates from this place of being wrong, right? You guys don't say, it's like nobody goes, yeah, I'm doing this wrong. No, everybody thinks they're right. So keep it up. Who do we get? Jose, thank you. Jose Silva Nunez. What about you, man?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jose Silva. I am originally from Lompoc, California. I currently have 2 jobs. I work in a restaurant. I also work for a property management company as an apprentice carpenter for a couple months now. And when it comes to COVID-19, it has affected us in many ways. For instance, one example would be in the maintenance department, where we can't go into properties as easier as it was before. We have to be more careful now and take precautions with the tenants. But yeah.
No way to turn this damn thing up. So did you say you work for a property management company?
Yes, correct.
And are you doing like maintenance and facility stuff for them?
Yes.
So like fixing screen doors and latches and broken windows and things like that, and drywall repair and all that stuff?
Yeah, construction, sometimes plumbing issues, sometimes electricity issues as well.
Yeah, that's great. And that's a great way to learn a whole lot about the building trades.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so how about you? Are you married? Kids?
No, I'm single. No kids.
By the way, Jose Cornejo is married. Do you have kids, Jose?
Yeah, I have a pet dog.
Do you have a dog? You have a dog?
Yeah, I have a dog.
That's
Bichon.
your kid, right?
Yeah, that's my kid.
Yeah, believe me, I can relate. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to tell us about yourself, Jose? Silva Nunez?
No, I think that's pretty much it. We'll
All right.
we'll learn as we go.
All right, thank you. James, how about you?
Yeah, my name is James Stevens. Currently, right now, I'm working for Action Roofing as a carpenter. I've been doing carpentry for about 4 years.
Did you say hello to Jack for me?
Oh, I have not talked to
You
Jack
forgot.
yet. I don't go to the office too much. Sometimes I don't like being around the office, but next time I do see him, I will tell him.
All right.
And then COVID hasn't really affected us too bad. I'm still working and jumping from job to job right now, so business is pretty good for
You
him right
guys
now.
have been busy.
Yes.
And when you go to work, do you guys mask up? Do you work with masks?
Yes, we have required to wear masks.
All right.
Yep.
And so you say you've been doing carpenter work for 10 years?
No, for about 4 years.
Okay. How'd you get your skills?
So my grandpa's in construction. He worked for Skipper Construction. And yeah, I started with him, and I moved up pretty quick as a framer. So I was working with him for a while with Skipper Construction. So I learned a lot of stuff from him.
So your grandpa imparted knowledge to you and trained you. That's great. Yeah, being mentored is what's happening, man. I mean, that's how we learn stuff. I think it's the best way to learn, is to work with somebody that knows a lot more than you and just keep your eyes open, right? And be willing to do what it takes and get shown. Earn while you learn too, which is not a bad way to go. How about you? Are you married?
No, I'm not.
No kids then, right?
No kids.
All right.
Yeah. Just
All right,
yeah,
well,
just
I'm glad you're here. And Donna, I'm glad you're here too. You are only female, so you're uber precious. What's happening, Donna?
Nothing much is happening. I'm just outside going to school. It's kind of cool.
Are you working, Donna?
I'm not working right now.
No. So what did you do? Do you have a did you work in construction at all?
Yeah, I work in construction, but I'm not working right now. I worked as a geotech, and I was in the middle of a framing apprenticeship for the summer, but now I'm just focusing on school.
Okay, that's a good thing to focus on. So yeah, do you like framing? Is that what you'd like to do, is framing?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it is. Who were you apprenticing with?
I was apprenticing in Paso Robles this summer with my uncle, and he frames. It's just Whitney Farrar framing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we built 2 houses. So
That's so cool. So you
Yeah.
were from ground up building 2 houses with your uncle?
Yeah, in Morro Bay. So it was right on the bluff. So we're like AC all day.
Did you learn anything about framing? What were you doing for them?
Oh, I ran
Did they let you
shear.
operate a saw and everything?
Yeah, I run shear. I help roll out trusses. I help lay out hardware. I set string lines. I snap layouts. But we did rebar too. So,
That's
I
great.
help set forms, trenches.
Donna,
Hold
do
down.
you live in Santa Barbara?
Yeah, I live in Montecito.
So have you ever heard of a company called Gordon and Fiano?
Yeah, I think so. I think I ran across them.
Yeah, they're pretty big time framers here, and they're both friends of mine. Neither one are with the company anymore. They sold the company, but they're always looking for people.
Yeah.
easy as hell. Gordon and Fiano. And you could, if you ever did apply, you could give me as a reference. Tell them I sent you.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. And I hope to, as we go along, have a list of people you guys would be interested in contacting if you want some work. Okay. Okay. Cool. Arthur, and I take it you're not married, Donna. No kids. Okay.
No.
Arthur Nelson, what's your story, man? Besides having a fantastic name.
Hi, thanks. I'm from Lompoc, California originally, and right out of high school, I got into the trades and started out with landscaping, did concrete work, and then moved on to doing playground installs, oddly enough. And then just recently during COVID, I got in touch with Byron at Solid Rock Construction and got hired on with him. But because of everything that's going on, jobs slowed down. And so when I actually started, he had me start working for his other company, Campo Vans. And so we build out Mercedes Sprinter vans.
Yeah.
And so he's got me in the shop there, learning quite a bit of carpentry skills, which, you know, with the things I've done in the past, I can apply some knowledge, but there's a lot that I'm learning there in the shop. So that's why I'm here.
There's a lot, and Brian's really good. He's got a great attitude. He's got a great work ethic. He's a good guy to work for.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, you've done well to get hired with Byron. He's one of the really good companies. So, and are you married?
No, I'm not. Just got a girlfriend. We're gonna keep
Right,
it that way for a while.
And no kids.
No, just a dog.
All right, yeah, another dog kid.
Yeah.
Believe me, I relate. Rocky's usually here with me. You guys will meet him at one point, my dog. So, Brandon, what about you, man? Brandon, pause.
Oh.
Tell us about yourself. What would you like us to know about you, Brandon?
Hi, I'm Brandon Paz. I live here in Santa Barbara. I am a full-time student.
Full-time student?
Yeah.
Cool. And are you from Santa Barbara?
Yes.
You also have a great name. Everybody's got a great name here except me. What about COVID? How's that affected you?
I can go out.
No, you can't go out to a bar or to a nightclub or inside a restaurant. That kind of go out.
Yeah, yeah.
And so,
For a beer. Yeah, for a beer.
have you been quarantining?
No.
No. All right. So, but you don't go to, so all your classes are online now.
Yeah, all of them.
And how does that feel?
I don't know, like weird.
It takes a while to get used to, I bet, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it takes you guys a while to get used to, but for me, it's insane. I mean, really, it's insane. It's insane. It's like, I can't even find something to compare it to, you know? I'm 72 years old. You ever heard of saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Well, it's not true. Old dogs do learn new tricks. They just don't like it. But we got to do it. If we want to stay viable, I could have just quit the job, I guess. But I like teaching too much. I like this interaction, but you know, for me, it's tough interacting like this. You know, I'm used to seeing you guys out there and, you know, making eye contact and having that real contact. So I'm glad you're here, Brandon, and I'm glad you're a full-time student. It just sounds so good to me, being able to just be a full-time student and not have to worry about the almighty dollar. Bron, what about you, man? You're in North Carolina right now?
Hello?
You're in North Carolina right now?
Yeah, I am actually. Right now I'm on vacation, visiting my girlfriend's family out here, and we're hanging out in a little town outside of a little town called Waxhaw, right outside of Charlotte.
I love North Carolina, man.
Yeah, it's really nice out here.
My daughter lived in Winston-Salem.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, she went to North Carolina School of the Arts.
Nice, that's awesome. Me and my girl are actually thinking about moving out here pretty soon. It's beautiful out here, it really is. Everything's more affordable, you know, too. Yeah. Well, my name's Bron Wintergren. I lived in Santa Barbara since I was like 3 years old. I was working in the restaurant industry before COVID hit. Kind of made me quit because it killed our business. And I was pretty much just wasting my time there. I wasn't making any kind of good money because no one was coming in. So I decided that I'd quit and, put time towards actually getting a job that's going to benefit me. And right now I'm trying to start working as an electrical trainee so I can become an electrician in the future. And then hopefully even, have my own electrical company is my main goal.
That's a great idea. Did you ever hear what Bron just said about are you planning to apprentice yourself to an electrical contractor?
Yeah, I am actually. I'm looking for a job doing that right now. What was that?
Do you have one in mind?
Yeah, well, I was trying to make it work with a guy in town named Jeb. He does SP Sparky, but I kind of messed it up. He texted me, and I do phone calls. I don't really do text, and I missed his text, and I messed up the job. But I'm still looking around. I'm still trying to find someone who'd be willing to mentor me, or I could work for as like an assistant, and just start kind of learning the trade and get into it that way. And I'm also taking the electrical course that's being taught here by another instructor, so I can legally start, working as an electrical trainee.
Yeah. I have so much respect for electricians. They make good money, and they deserve to make good money, man. That's what I've heard. 2 weeks ago, where we had to pull 2 circuits, 104 feet through an existing conduit, and trace all this stuff, and it was beyond belief. I would have given up so many times, but this guy I was working. I mean, that pull wire broke as it came up the last 4 feet, and we had to open the wall and cut the conduit out, and fish down it, and went down with a pinhole camera down the conduit, and it was just, it was killer.
Sounds super technical. Yeah.
The guy was going to get the job done, and he had the knowledge, and he had me. I'd do anything. So he had a good helper.
Nice.
That was great. But yeah, it's a good trade.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear I'm not the only person thinking that.
and then I'll tell you my opinion of the people in the trades and how carpenters feel about the trades in a minute. As soon as we get through our last 3 people, Victor Gallegos, what's happening, man? Thanks,
Hi,
man.
my name is Victor.
Victor.
I'm 17. I live in Santa Barbara, and I work for my dad's friend. He has his own company. It's only 5 workers, but I work for. It's a landscape.
So you guys do landscaping?
Yeah.
Is that what your crew does?
Yeah.
You do hardscapes as well, or just landscapes?
Landscapes.
Landscape, man. Who else was George is a landscaper too, huh? Yeah, it's hard work, but it's great work, especially in Santa Barbara, man. Santa Barbara is a great place to be a landscaper. So you married?
Nah.
And you're working now with your
Yeah, I am.
with your landscaper guy. And what about COVID? How did COVID affect you? Did it slow down the work? Were you working when it hit?
Yeah, it slowed it down because the clients didn't really want us to go anymore.
How about now? How is it doing now?
It's gotten better, just still slow.
So you guys are working.
Yeah.
You work. Did you work today?
Yeah, I did.
All right. So, thank you. And that was. Man, now you guys are jumping around. That was Victor. How about Noel? We haven't heard from you yet, right?
Yeah, you guys have.
We have.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
Enrique,
Rob.
have we heard from you, Enrique Gregorio?
Hello, sorry. I'm Enrique. Let's see. I'm 17. I live in Carpinteria. I did work as a custodian at Santa Barbara High School. I only worked as that because I only had class for 1 period, and that was PE because I was already caught up with most of my classes. Because normally, for me, I don't like to wait till I get something. I just straight up tell my teacher I need it like now, because I have so much free time because I was like at a alternative high school, and like I always got out like at 1 o'clock, and I just like sit around in my bed like, what am I doing? Like I could be doing packets right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing, and I did that for like a semester, and by my sophomore year I was already doing senior math. Junior year I was doing democracy and economics, so I was just ahead of it. And then I transferred to Santa Barbara High because I wanted to take an econ course there that was better for me and offered a little bit more credits. I did that for like less than a semester and I finished it. And then I just had PE because my alternative high school just never offered PE. So that was easy. All I had to do was show up and dress, and that's it. After that, I'd go to work as a custodian and I'd just do that. And that was it basically. I lost my job because of like COVID, because I had to shut down the school like in mid-April. So I had to wear like a biohazard suit and everything, and I'd have a little wand and I'd spray the whole school down. And yeah, I
Are
mean,
you still
since then,
doing that, Enrique?
no, my employer told me like it's best not even to go. Not even he's going. So
Did they give you any idea that they'd have you back?
I don't know. I mean, they would. They told me, would you be interested again? Maybe if the school reopened. And I told them it depends if I have, college and what's my schedule like and what days they're willing to give me, time off.
So right now you're a full-time student.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I'm just taking like all of the construction classes.
Good. Well, good. Well, hopefully we can impart something online that'll help you guys out, guys and gal out. It'll help you out to find a job or to improve your skills or somehow improve you as human beings. That's my intention for you. So Arthur, I don't think you've introduced yourself yet, have you? Arthur Nelson? Arthur, are you there? Arthur, did you bail on me? Arthur? Hey, Arthur. Okay.
He was the one doing playgrounds. I think he introduced himself and just went to the
I'm
back.
sorry. Say it again, John.
He was the one that did playgrounds.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Arthur did. He's probably just taking a break. Is there anybody that didn't tell us who they are? No. Everybody has. Everybody told us who they are. Okay. Did any of you do the survey?
Yes.
John did the survey. Anybody else do the survey?
I didn't.
Noel didn't do it. You didn't do it?
No, not yet.
Who was just telling me that they had all this free time? Was it Enrique?
Yes, sir.
Get going on the dang survey. Don't do it now.
I'm sorry, I didn't have any internet yesterday.
Don't do it now, but do the survey. All you gotta do is click on it, and then it'll open up another screen for you, and then you can answer the questions. Put your name and date. And as soon as you get done, put submit, and then I'll get it. And that survey will tell me all about. Say again.
Where's the survey?
Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to share screen. We're going to go tailgate safety meeting, share. We're going to go to modules, class survey. See that? It's in your first week module, and all you got to do is open the class survey in a new window, and then you can put in your answers. And when you get done, hit submit, and I will get it. All right?
Cool. Thank you.
How much schooling have you had? How would you rate your skills as a word worker? It just tells me a little bit about you that I have in writing. And it's just something I want you guys to do. So I'm big on finding out how to do things. Like for instance, when we have our tests, I'm going to give you some quizzes, and they're going to be the quizzes that are in the workbook, which is tied to the Modern Carpentry book. But generally, this class is weighted as you see. We're going to go over the syllabus right now. And actually, what time is it? So we've been at it for an hour, right? We've been at it for an hour.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to go through the syllabus and a few other things I have here. And I probably, in all likelihood, won't keep you much past 8 o'clock. Is everybody listening to this? Okay, I'm going to get back. I'm going to stop the share for right now and get back to all of us and tell you that there's today I probably won't keep you past 8 o'clock. And on any given Thursday, I probably won't keep you past 8:30 on almost any given Thursday. You know, unless we're really involved in something, you know, you might go to 9, but we're never going to go to 9:45. I probably shouldn't say that out loud because the class is supposed to be 6 to 9:45. But really, raise your hand if you want to stay here for 3 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the way I feel about it too. And also, oh, Donna wants to. No, she said no. Okay, Enrique wants to because he's bored stiff. But yeah, so we won't do that. And I know a lot of people work here, and some people are full-time students. But you know, we all have these incredibly busy lives. I'm not going to give you much in the way of homework either. I am going to give you some homework, and I've been doing this for 12 years, and I've noticed something about homework. Most people don't do it. 90% of the kids, adults that I teach, don't do homework. So I'm either pissed at them and nagging them to do the homework, or it's just not working, right? So I want you to try to be present while you're here with me and absorb everything you can. And if you have to go back, this will be recorded, this will be accessible. If you need to look at my lectures, we'll have some writing stuff, you know, we'll have some handout type stuff. There'll be the books type stuff. You know, you'll have some written material to refer to when you do have tests, but it's all open book. So when I give a test, it's going to be open book, and you're going to be able to access the safety sheets to be able to answer those questions, and you'll be able to access the book to answer the questions that come out of the book, and you'll be able to go back and look at my lectures if you need to pull something out of a lecture. But I'm expecting you to just be here and be present. And really, that's probably the most important thing about this thing, about succeeding in life, in school, in work, your career, in relationships, is being present. And that's really it. That's the secret of life, is be present. Be here now. Just like, for the most part, other than George, who I don't know where he is, or Enrique or Donna, because their screens are blank. There's Enrique. I got your attention, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for your attention. I'm looking for you guys to be present with me, and then we can get a lot done, at least on my agenda. And also we'll go over how you can contact me and all that stuff soon. But it's now 7:12. We're gonna take a break until 7:25. Okay, so we're going to take a 13-minute break. So at 7:25, be back here. Okay, 7:25. Okay, everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right, good. See you guys 7:25.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So, first off, does anybody know what the two types of casing are? Two ways to case? Anybody? You want to shout again? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Two types of casing. The most common, and that's, you know, all over, let's talk about the US for now. The most common mitered, right?
Mitered and coped.
Mitered. And mitered casing is with profile casing, and you got a leg, miters into a head, and the head miters into that leg, and that's the casing. That's typical door casing. We'll get into the components of window casing in just a minute, but that's a mitered casing. You've all seen it in any moldings that have a profile like right? That profile, that's a profile molding. Now you can't do a Craftsman or a butt casing with that. You've got to miter it. It's the only way that's going to run around something. That's the only way you're going to go 90 is to miter that thing, right? Unless it hits a plinth block, and I'll show you a plinth block in just a minute. And actually, this Craftsman style casing down at the bottom, that's a plinth block. So Craftsman style casing, the components of Craftsman style casing. So we're gonna call it Craftsman or Buddy. Components are a headpiece that's thicker than the legs, with maybe a 3/8 or 1/2 inch reveal, square leg, 1/2 inch or 3/8 reveal, square leg. This would go right onto the opening, and then they would either end at the deck with a baseboard butting to them, or they would end in a plinth block with this light reveal, and the baseboard butting to that. Craftsman style casing, and the way this works is because on a cross section of this, in a butt joint, we want to ease the edges, right? We don't like super square edges. We want to ease the edges. So a cross section, if this is the wall, and that's the headpiece, right? It's got an eased edge, and it's got an eased edge. Now, if I were to use, and that's, let's say, 1 inch thick, or 4/4 inch. If I was to butt with the same 1 inch net, I would be accentuating this ease, which wouldn't look good. So I would use 3/4 material, and the 3/4 material would butt cleanly below the radius, right there. And that's exactly what we've got there. And it would be really easy for you to see it if you were here, but you're not. So if you have questions about it, we'll be going over this a bunch, about Craftsman and mitered casing and different style casing. So 2 different kinds of casings, butted or Craftsman style, California bungalow, you see a lot in California, or mitered, right? Which is profiled, molding, mitered. It doesn't have to be profiled. You can miter square molding too. Now windows are a little bit different animal. Because windows on the interior have a couple of components that doors don't have. And so just casing, the basics. Window casing. In a window casing, what you got an opening, right? A window opening. And you're going to case that opening. And you're going to case it Craftsman style with a head trim that's thicker, say 1 inch, or 3/4 if you're going to use 1/2 inch for legs. You're going to have a stool on the outside of a window. That's a sill. On the inside, that's a stool. Inside, outside. Outside sill sheds water with a drip curve. Inside has a stool. That stool usually ears around, is on the exact plane as your leg. It's about usually 1 1/4. It has an apron. So leg butts down, drops down to the stool, then the apron is that. So it's stool, apron, leg, head. And there's variations, lots of them.
What's the top called?
The variations.
Hey Rod, what was the top called there?
Say again, please.
What was the top called there?
It's the head trim.
The head. Cool.
So the components are a head trim, legs, right? Head trim, legs, stool apron. This will be recorded, but I'll have some drawings of this stuff too. I'm just starting to put this together. But let's go back to that screen share to this guy here. So this has some pretty cool stuff, really. So here's some examples, right, of what you can do with trim. This is very elaborate casing, but it's just gorgeous, isn't it? I just love this stuff. You can see it has a plinth block down at the bottom, and then it has, actually they made panels to do their casing. It's just unbelievably ornate casing. I mean, look at that stuff, it's grand. Now here's a little less ornate, but you see how the head is thicker than the legs. So the head is proud of the legs, and that allows a leg to be cut and butted and still have an eased edge and not look funny and weird. And then adding stuff to the top of your head just accentuates it and gives it an architrave appearance. And there's a lot of ways to do that. There's a guy who's done, we've done this before with a 1/4-inch bead molding, and then a head on top of that. And then that way, if you take your bead molding a little bit proud, you can use head and legs the same because your bead molding breaks it up and your bead molding's proud. And then you add, this is just a routed molding. This guy made this with a router and then returned it. It's a beautifully made casing. There's a casing that's a 2-piece with a piece on the outside. The guy's done a curved mold. Very cool, very cool. This is a fairly traditional Victorian style casing with a rosette. Sometimes they're called plinths. And then the head trim butts to it and the leg butts to it. You can use, and this coved molding and fluted molding is really prevalent. There's a classic wainscoting, the wainscot cap that runs into classic Craftsman trim. You see the details that are classic, that reveal right there? That means the head goes a little bit beyond the legs. These are all pretty classic openings. Here the guys added some mitered molding on top and done this really nice molding at the bottom. And the reason this works, the reason you can do this and didn't have to miter that profile molding is because the head is thicker than the legs. So that legs can butt to the head. So now here's a colonial style casing. That's a mitered casing. There's a typical classically mitered casing, which is what you'd see in most houses and certainly all tract houses for the most part are going to have. And they're going to have cheaper, cheaper profiles like Streamline, which is 1 5/8. Here's a Coven bead casing. Nice with that butted, but they've added a bead molding. So the head and legs might be even the same thickness, but the bead molding separates them. The bead molding is proud of the head and the legs. Here's that Victorian design with the plinth blocks. And this is pretty typical with a beaded or fluted molding. Very typical. There's a combo casing. You know, you could really almost dream this up yourself. There's so many ways to go. And then there's non-casing. Like that's trimless right there. And I'll be showing you that because there are ways to trim out doors and windows that don't involve adding anything. Your drywallers do it with either a Milcor or a bullnose to the jamb. And I'll go over that on the board at one point when we get more into casing, which we will get more into casings. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the, God, I got some great looking casings. There's another classically mitered, and that's probably a 2-piece. So that's probably 1 piece there, and then they added that cove molding around it. So it's a 2-piece molding, but it really gives it some depth, doesn't it? Love it. Yeah. I mean, look at this. I mean, how fancy can you get? That's called a dental molding. The crown molding is a dental with corbels, and then this insane architrave. Oh my good golly. That's quite the pad right there. And everything ties in with the wainscot paneling. By the way, who can define wainscoting for me? Anybody? John, was that you? No? Anybody? Okay. So
I didn't say it, but it's wall paneling.
wainscoting is paneling part way up a wall. Part way up a wall.
Usually 30 to 36 inches, right?
Not wainscoting. Typical wainscoting starts at about 32 inches and then goes all the way up to 5 feet, even 6 feet, depending upon the ceiling height and how the room is used. But this is a typical like 32-inch high wainscoting, paneled wainscoting, and it looks like a solid raised panel too. Just beautiful. That's another thing that we're going to learn is the difference between raised and recessed panels. Okay, so mitered versus butted, right? Okay. Wanted to go through standing arrangements. I totally lost my train of thought. All right. Back to this. Oh, okay. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna show you just a couple things on the board. Finished carpenters are also called trim carpenters. And running casings is really important. And unfortunately, for us trim carpenters, Santa Barbara has a whole lot of houses that don't have trim, visible trim. Their doors and their windows are bullnosed. So you know what bullnose is? Bullnosing? The drywaller or the plasterer does the bullnose. The drywaller or the plasterer does the bullnose. And this is what it looks like. So this is a cross section, right? So here's that's the trimmer stud. I'm sorry, that's the king stud. That's the trimmer stud. We've cut away a wall, right? We're looking down a wall. This is the opening. Now, in typical casing, you're going to have, say, 5/8 sheetrock. This is what you call this an interior wall. 5/8 sheetrock, right? 3.5-inch framing plus 5/8 sheetrock, 5/8 sheetrock. That's 4 3/4. So we make a 4 3/16 jamb because we want to be a little bit proud, if anything. And so our jamb, which is shimmed into the opening, should flush with the sheetrock, right? And your door hangs here. And a butt hinge with stop. Can you get me? This is a jamb. Now it's got to be cased because there's shims in here holding that jamb in place. When it gets a casing, it gets either a profile casing or a square casing, but it's the drywall and the edge of the jamb are flush. So the nail goes through the casing, into the trimmer or the king stud, and it gets nailed also onto the jamb. So it locks in your door. So when your door is well cased, it's totally locked in. Your jamb can't move because you've nailed it between the casing through the jamb and you've nailed the casing through into the framing. So you've locked that guy in. Now in bullnose, which like I said in Santa Barbara, which we have so much Spanish stuff, we do so much bullnosing that trim carpenters are not needed to do doors or windows because what they do is they have a wall. King stud, trimmer stud, right? And we got 5/8 drywall, which I'm going to stop right here. 5/8 drywall. We have bullnoses. So there's no wood casing. What happens is the drywallers or the plasterers come after the carpenters install the jambs flush with the framing. So that's a flush with the framing jamb. Stop, door, butt hinge for the door. Flush with the framing, and then the drywall comes to here, and then they put a beadex bullnose. and usually into a kerf. We usually put a narrow kerf into the jamb, and then the drywall full noses into the jamb. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
I'll hopefully have some pictures and show you examples, but it full noses into the jamb. And it's trimless, but it's got a bullnose and it actually miters in the corner. So if you were looking at the door,
Could you upload a detail, maybe? Could you upload a detail on these, on your drawings?
one more time.
Your details are hard to see in Zoom,
Oh,
so I was wondering if you could upload.
yeah, and I'll do that. I'll get some pictures of typical casings for you so you'll understand.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
if you can't see that. Is it better if I get closer up?
Yeah, now we can see.
Is that better?
That's a lot better.
So
That's a lot better.
So this bullnose, if you were looking at the door, right? If that was the door, instead of seeing casing mitered around or a big head casing, what you basically see is just the wall just bullnoses right into the jamb. So you wouldn't even have this line here. The wall would just cross section, right? Cut away like this, looking down through the wall. The wall just bullnoses, rolls into the jamb.
The windows in my house are bullnosed like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very popular and really popular in Santa Barbara. It's amazing, with all the Spanish colonial stuff. So let's go back.
It seems like there's a steel piece that kind of creates that round edge.
Yeah, it's called beadex.
Beadex?
Well, that's one thing. But yes, it's got paper on it. The same paper / tape that is used for drywall tape, but it's a metal corner. And that's typically what the drywall guys use is a beadex corner, bullnose corner. They apply that and they tuck it into your jamb.
It seems like our drywall guys use the plastic version more often. I don't know why that is, but maybe because they're from LA or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and I promise by next week I'm going to have Oren get me speakers. I haven't had so much trouble hearing you guys. I wanted to go back to. Okay, I'm going to walk you through the syllabus and then we're going to get out of here. Okay. So can everybody hear me okay? Just chime in if you can't hear me.
Yeah.
Good thing you guys can hear me. Okay. Let me get closer to the mic. I bet you can hear me better now, huh? And now you can even see me, which is kind of too bad for you, but oh well. All right. This is my television debut, you guys. So, City College. This is our first class, 827. You see that, right? And our last class will be, what's the significance of that date? Besides it's our last class. Who knows?
5 days before Christmas.
Harbor Day, but you know what? Pearl Harbor Day is the 7th, so it's just the 10th. So our last class is Thursday the 10th. And if you look at our modules, we go to modules. Actually, let's just go down. Let's go to modules and look at, we've got week 2, 3, and these will flesh out. I'll get them fleshed out. Right now, they're there. These are the safety meetings we're going to do. We're going to have a roll call, and then I'll put some other stuff in there as I figure out how to flesh this stuff out. But you'll notice that when we get to week 14, we're not going to be here. We're going to be eating turkey. So cool. It's on a Thursday. All right. So we have 15 classes, 14 more after tonight. And we don't have a class on Thanksgiving. Let's go to syllabus again. Okay. This same link will get you into our Zoom meeting every time, right? You don't have to bring up another link. It's the same link, so just go there and click. I put this up on the homepage, this mantle, because I really like the looks of it, this mantle. This is the kind of stuff that I love to do. And if somebody reminds me, if I forget, I'll show you the mantle I just did at my house last December. I've had my house in San Roque for 35 years. It's a 1930s stucco, sort of, we've been trying to make it into a craftsman style house, but I just had a real simple mantle. I did a really cool mantle. I'll show you guys it. Okay, so our meetings are on Zoom until further notice, and I am going to have some face-to-face labs. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. But I also want to let you guys know that communicate with me on Pipeline. Okay? We're going to do Canvas on Pipeline. That utsters@cox.net, that's my personal email, and you can use it. I will see it faster than Pipeline. So if you really want to get a hold of me fast through email, do it to Utsters. I'll check Pipeline at least daily, if not a couple times a day. But I check my email, my Utsters email, multiple times a day. And if you need me for anything, call me or text me. I'm available to you guys. Okay? Call me or text me. And if you can't make it for some reason, if you're not going to be able to make it to class, like Arthur, are you there? Okay. If you're,
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. I want to make sure you're still here, Arthur. So if you can't make it to class at 6 o'clock or by 6:10, you need to communicate with me and tell me why. And then you can get an excused absence. If you don't communicate with me and you're not here when I call the roll, you're going to get marked absent. And you'll notice that my grading is basically based on 100 points, percentage points. I'm going to somehow figure out the quizzes in there. And by the way, somebody who has already got extra credit, you know who you are, but for helping me clean up the shop. And if any of you want to do extra credit, also let me know. Just communicate with me. Just send me a email through Pipeline and talk to me. There is an inbox in Canvas that I won't use as much, but I promise I will check my Pipeline email once or twice a day. And if you really want to get in touch with me via email, just send it to my Utsters and I'll get it like right away. But my grading is based on 5 things. 2 of them are the midterm and the final. That's 20% of your grade, each one of those tests. And they're going to happen at week 8 and week 16. You're going to have a 50-question multiple choice midterm, and you're going to have a 50-question multiple choice final exam. And I'll tell you all about those things too. The other 60% of your grade is going to be made up by basically attendance, because if you're not here, I can't tell what your attitude or your participation is. You follow me? So really, you just need to show up. If you show up and have your eyes open, I'm going to probably give you pretty good points for attendance, for sure, because you showed up. Attitude and participation if you were here with your eyes open. And then really, what you do with your exams will either get you in the A's, B's, or C's. Show up. It's the most important part of life. And you're going to be hearing some udisms here. They're phrases that I've coined and I've taken ownership of, right? Like safety, like my vision of safety is being aware of where you are, all your body parts, in relation to everything else in the world. Shit, everybody still hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And here's another one for you. If you can draw it, you can build it. If you can draw it, you can build it. We're going to learn scale drawing here. Some of you may know how to draw to scale. Some of you may not know how to draw a scale. And I'll put this in. I forgot to do it. I usually have it in my class schedule, but I'll put this in. You're going to need to get an architectural scale rule, a 7mm pencil, an eraser, and a triangle. You don't have to remember this. I will get it down for you. But you're going to have to get stuff like an 8.5 by 11 pad. We're going to learn to draw to scale an 8.5 by 11 pad. 8.5 by 11 pad. That's an 8.5 by 11 1/4-inch graph pad. You're going to need to get it with your name and logo on it. No, just get it. Just 1/4-inch graph pad is all you need. And then we're going to draw with a 7mm pencil. Not a 5mm, not a 3mm, not a 9mm. 7mm pencil. Again, I'll get this to you so you can read it. You won't have to write it down. You're going to need an architectural scale rule, not an engineer scale. This is a small one, normally about that big. That's what I suggest you get. And you're going to need some kind of a triangle to draw with, 45 or 36. Okay? Again, I'll tell you all about that. And a white vinyl eraser. We're going to learn how to draw a scale.
Can you send us on links for them? That'd be amazing.
That's the thing. I don't think I'll even go through the whole syllabus. Give us something to do next week with the text. Please get the text. We're going to be using the text. It's a really good reference book. The 12th edition, they just didn't add enough. Like I said, if you have the 12th edition, we'll make it work. With the 11th, everything is in. Everything I want you to look at in the 11th is in the 12th, and I'll give you the reference to find it when it comes time for it, and get the workbook, because we're going to be doing some quizzes out of the workbook. I got the workbook myself, and I like it. I've been doing some of the quizzes. I've just got to figure out. I've got to have you guys help me figure out how we can do it. I think what I'm thinking of now is I will scan it, put it in the computer, and then just bring it up and have it so you can click on the link and bring it up as a scan. And actually, I take it back. I'll have my guy help me make it into a Google Doc. So we'll figure all that stuff out. But get the workbook, please. Get the textbook, please. Do the survey. Just click on it. It's a Google Docs. Hit submit, and I have it. That's all you got to do. So that is your homework. Get that survey done for me. It'll be fun for you. If it isn't, try to make it fun. That's on you. And get the textbook, please, and show up. Show up next week at 6 o'clock sharp. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anybody at all?
No.
Questions? Questions from Arthur, Enrique, Victor, Braun, Donna?
No, sir.
Hey, Rod, I have a question. Do you think if we have the 12th edition book, we should get the 12th edition workbook, or should we get the 11th edition workbook?
That's a hell of a good question. Fuck. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? So, yeah, if you've got the 12th edition, I gotta see. Do they have a 12th edition workbook?
I don't even know.
I think they do, because when I was looking for one on Amazon for the 12th edition textbook, the soft workbook came out too, and it has the options of clicking 12th or 11th edition.
So yeah, you think they do have the. So if you've got the 12th edition, get the 12th edition workbook.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
I ordered the 11th today.
Okay.
This is John. Is that fine?
Okay, that's good. Well, good. Then get the 11th workbook.
But I have the 12th book. That's fine.
Okay, so you ordered the 11th edition workbook?
Yes, because it was on.
Yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I hopefully they'll be the same. I got your number. I may call you up so that you'll have that workbook, and then we can compare notes and make sure it's right. Okay. And you've got my number, so when you get that, I've got the 11th edition, 12th edition. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out making the switch. I'm sorry for the confusion. I just don't want to have you guys have to buy a $125 textbook when I thought you could buy this 11th edition for $30, but now it's $67 to rent, $96 to buy, but it beats 125. Okay. So any other questions?
No.
Why can't you get the paperback? What's the difference?
There is no paperback. So the Modern Carpentry 11th or 12th edition is hardbound, period. What you see as paperback is a workbook.
Okay. Gotcha.
So the Modern Carpentry book, textbook, is hardbound. There are no paperbacks. When it says paperback, that's the workbook. And that's why it's cheap, and it's the workbook. It's not the textbook.
Cool.
Anything else? Anything else for me? So look, I'm available. You guys call me, text me, email me. If you got any questions, if you need any help, if you need answers about something, if you can't figure something out, if you just want to help me out. And I'll try to put together a list. And also, if you're interested in work, email me, let me know. And so I can forward some of the stuff I get from other people that are looking for people to work. Okay, nice garage there, Alec.
Thanks.
Is that Cassius? Is that Cassius Clay? Is that Muhammad Ali behind you? Was it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Right on. So it's nice seeing you on. Donna's inside now. Victor, looks like you got a nice little case behind you. Window behind you. Oh, window behind you with no casing, looks like. Or is that a sliding glass door? Arthur, is that a sliding door?
Yeah, it's a
Behind you?
slider.
Yeah, that's why it has no casing, although you can case them out. So, okay, so this has been sort of a fun session, first session. It's just so different, so different for me. So come back next week, okay? Come back, be here by 6:10 at the latest. I'll see you guys, and I'll communicate with you via pipeline between now and then, okay?
All right.
Don't forget
Thank
survey.
you.
All right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Night.
Stay safe.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later.
Hey, Rod, you still there?
All right. Later.
Hello.
Hey,